Welcome to this 25-minute advanced flow. If you've stumbled upon this video and you are a beginner in yoga, then I recommend you going to some of my other flows that are more suitable for beginners. This is more for intermediate and advanced practitioners. Take a few moments to come to your breath and then lean forward, tuck under all 10 toes. Just make sure that you're making contact with the mat with all of your toes in toes pose, and let the hips sit on the heels. This is a really intense stretch for the feet, so if at any moment it gets too much, you can come out of it, lean forward, take some pressure off, and then come back into it as you feel appropriate. Close down the eyes and take some deep breaths. Still continuing to use this moment to connect with our breath. And then begin to come out of it, lean forward, untuck the toes, and then just pat the tops of the feet on the ground to get the blood back in. And come into your tabletop position. And then we'll make a C curve with the spine. So our shoulders and head and our hips are coming over to the left as we take our right side body out to the right. Breathing into the right side and then coming through center and taking it over to the other side. So making a C curve over to the left. Coming back through center, and then we'll begin to make some really big circles here. So coming up through cat and then dropping down into your cow in these big circular motions, as if you're trying to scrape out the inside of a barrel. Stay in any places that feel kind of nice, really feel into these movements. And coming back, tucking under all 10 toes, and coming up into our first downward facing dog. Make any movements here that you want to. You can pedal the feet out. Let the head be heavy. And then we'll come all the way up onto the toes, roll forward into your plank, and then drop the hips so we're in kind of a upward facing dog with the toes tucked. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, roll forward, let the hips drop, open the chest, open the throat. Exhale, down dog. Inhale to come forward, drop the hips. And exhale, downward facing dog. And then just step the feet in about a footprint in towards you, taking the feet wide to mat width, and then grabbing hold of your left ankle with your right hand, and then twisting your body through so that you're looking out underneath your left armpit. And come back and take it to the other side. So left hand grabs hold of the right ankle, and then just turn your body so that you're peeking underneath your right armpit. And come out, and then walk the feet in towards the hands and come into our ragdoll. So let the torso be heavy, and then we'll clasp the hands behind the back of the head and then just gently squeeze into the temples, squeezing the elbows in towards one another, feeling a deep stretch at the back of the neck. And then we'll roll all the way up to stand. And then inhale, take both arms up. And exhale, let the right arm drop and we'll lean over to the right. So really reaching through the fingertips, getting nice length in that left side body. Inhale to come up through center. Exhale, let the left hand come down and lean over to the left. Keep the chest nice and open. And come back. Inhale, both arms come up, tall mountain. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step the left foot all the way back. And we'll just let the fingertips come off the mat and then come up. Shoulders above hips, crescent lunge. Arms come up, shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll inhale to straighten the front leg and exhale to rebend. Get nice and low. Inhale to straighten the right leg and exhale to come down. Inhale to come up and exhale, sink down, crescent lunge. Then we'll windmill the arms open to our warrior two. Get nice and low in that front knee. Soft gaze over the front middle finger. And then we'll take it back to reverse warrior. And then come forward into your extended side angle, bringing the right hand down inside of the right foot, stacking the shoulders, and then coming in for a bind. You can just do a half bind if the full bind is not accessible. Otherwise, we're binding the hands, opening the chest, keeping the shoulders stacked. Coming back to our side angle, and then grounding down through the legs to come up, warrior two. And then spinning back so that back heel lifts, coming back to our crescent lunge. And then bringing the hands to heart center, leaning forward and twisting over to the right. So our left elbow hooks onto the outside of our right knee. You can stay with the hands at heart center, or you can open up the arms, deepening through this twist. And slowly begin to look down at the ground and step that left foot up to meet the right, coming into our twisting chair pose. Coming through center and then straighten the legs, tall mounting, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Inhale, bring the arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to our halfway lift. And exhale, step the right leg all the way back. And we'll slowly, slowly begin to come up into our crescent lunge. Arms come up, shoulders are away from the ears. And we'll take a big inhale and straighten through that front leg. And exhale, rebend, get low. Inhale, straighten through the left leg. Exhale, come down. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend down, crescent lunge. And then we'll open out into our warrior two. Arms come out wide, soft gaze over the front middle finger. And then taking a big inhale, coming into reverse warrior. And exhale to our side angle. And then coming in for the bind. So you can either take a half bind and wrap that right arm behind you, or come in for a full bind. Keeping the chest nice and open. Hips remain open. And then unwind, coming back up through warrior two, and then spinning back to the front, coming into our crescent lunge. Back heel lifts. Bring the hands down through heart center, and then twist over to the left this time, hooking the elbow to the outside of the knee, bringing the hands to heart center, or if you want to deepen through the twist, you can open up the arms. And then bringing the hands back to heart center, look down at your mat, and then step the right foot to meet the left, coming into our twisting chair pose. Try and bring the thumbs as close to the sternum as you can get them, keeping the knees in the same line. And then coming out of the twist, straighten the legs, arms come up, tall mountain. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step that left leg all the way back. Again, coming into our crescent lunge. Sink nice and low. And then this time, we'll dip that back knee down. So as you... Oh no, we won't. We'll go straight into Warrior Two. Strong Warrior Two. And then inhale to reverse. Exhale, coming back into our side angle. Coming in for our bind. Nice and open in the chest. Look down at the mat. Step that left foot up. We're coming into Bird of Paradise. So ground through the left foot. See if you can pick that right foot up and come up to standing. Find something that's not moving on the ground to help with your balance. And then once you get up there, you can keep the knee bent, or maybe you begin to straighten out through that right leg, coming into full Bird of Paradise. Bending into the right knee again, and with control, coming back down. And then stepping that left foot all the way back, coming to side angle briefly. And coming up, Warrior Two, and then spinning back to our crescent lunge, back heel lifts. Stepping up to the front of the mat, bend that left knee in towards the chest, and then grabbing hold of the outside of the foot with your right hand, taking the left hand out behind you, twisting open, straightening through that left leg, but it doesn't have to be completely straight. And then come out of the posture, come back to mountain pose, and over to the other side. So inhale, both arms lift, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, step the right foot all the way back, come up into your crescent lunge. Settle in. And then we'll begin to open it up to Warrior Two, spinning that back heel down. Strong Warrior Two. Soft gaze over the front middle finger. And then we'll take a big inhale to reverse warrior. And exhale. Extended side angle. Stacking the shoulders and then coming in for our bind. Keeping the chest nice and open. And then we'll look down at the mat, find our balance and step that right foot up to meet the left. Grounding into the right foot. See if you can pick the left foot up and maybe come up to a stand. You can keep that left leg bent or maybe practice straightening it out. And then slowly and with control, come out of the posture, bring the left foot down to the ground. Step the right foot all the way back, come into our extended side angle. Coming up through Warrior Two and then turning to face the front of the mat, back heel lifts, crescent lunge. And then stepping up, coming into a one-legged Tadasana, bending that right knee in, And then grabbing hold of the outside of the foot with your left hand, straightening through that leg, twisting with the body. Right hand comes out towards the back of the mat. And then release, coming into your Tadasana. And then heel toeing the feet to about mat width. We're going to be coming all the way down into our Malasana, yogic squat. Bringing the hands to heart center and then pushing the elbows into the knees and the knees into the elbows. Sinking low, keeping a nice long straight back. And then we'll straighten out through the left arm, place the left hand down on the mat and then sweeping that right arm up and over. And you can stay with the arms open, or maybe you come in for a bind, binding the hands behind you, opening through the chest and the shoulders. And coming out, coming back through center, and then taking it over to the other side. So straighten through that right arm, plant the right hand down on the mat and then sweep the left arm up. And you can either stay here in this open twist, or you can maybe practice with the bind, taking that left hand behind the back. And slowly begin to come out. And we'll do a little bit of crow practice here. So heel toe the feet together. Bring the knees really up into the armpits. And then begin to lean forward. Getting light in the toes. Maybe lifting both feet up. Maybe practice coming into crane pose and straightening out through the arms. Take a few breaths here. And then maybe if it's in your practice, you can jump back to your chaturanga and then inhale to your up dog. And we'll exhale to our wide-legged child's pose. So take the knees wide, toes touch behind you and sink down. Reconnecting with our breath. Breathe into the back body. And then we'll do some bunny hops. So crouching down low and then taking a few hops up. Maybe you catch some air in a handstand. We'll do one more hop and then step the feet down onto the ground and come into a seat. Take the legs out long. Hands come to either side of your hips and we'll take some neck circles or half neck circles. Really stay lifted out of your seat, and then we'll bend the right leg, drawing the right foot in towards you, taking your right hand behind you, twisting over to the right. And then you can bring your arm to the outside of the right knee, and maybe another bind. We'll practice a bind here if that's something that you're working on. It's quite a tricky closed bind, this one, so it can take a little bit of maneuvering and practice to get into this. And unwind. And then we'll take a half lotus with the right leg. Inhale to find lots of length in the spine, and then as you exhale, fold forward. Nice long spine. And with every inhale, maybe you come up slightly and wiggle a little bit more room into the spine. And then as you exhale, you can come down. And slowly come out. And we'll take it over to the other side. So straighten through the right leg, bend the left leg. Take the left hand behind you. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. And then as you exhale, twist over to the left. Taking that right elbow to the outside of the knee. And then coming in for the bind, if that's in your practice. And breathing here. And then slowly begin to unwind, letting that left knee drop down, and then coming into our half lotus. And then taking a big inhale to find length in the spine, and exhaling to forward fold. Wiggling some more space into the vertebrae and then coming down. Using your breath here. And slowly begin to come out. Release the foot. Just wiggle out the feet. And then we'll come into full lotus or half lotus if full lotus isn't in your practice. We're coming into scale pose, so a little arm balance to close out this advanced flow. Pressing into the hands, squeezing the knees in towards you. Taking some breaths and then release down. So it really takes quite a lot of core strength to get that lift. And then we'll come all the way down onto our back. And then taking the right ankle on top of the left knee. And then grabbing hold of the back of the left leg and squeezing the knee in towards you. Keep that right foot flexed to protect your knee joint. Take some breaths here. Release. Keep that figure 4 shape and then take the entire shape over to the left. And then taking the arms out by the sides and looking over to the right. Coming in for our spinal twist. And come out. Take it over to the other side. So left ankle comes on top of right knee. Coming into our figure 4. Squeezing that leg in towards the chest. Your hands are clasped at the back of the right leg. Keep the left foot flexed and open that knee out. And release, take the arms out by the sides and take that entire shape over to the right as you look to the left. Supine twist. Breathing here. And then coming out. And coming into our happy baby. So grabbing hold of the outsides of the feet, keeping the tailbone nice and glued down onto the mat. And then any movements here you want to, you can straighten into one leg and then the other. Maybe you practice straightening into both legs. Any other movements that feel nice before we come into our Shavasana. taking the legs out long, letting the feet fall open. Arms come down by the sides, palms face up. Letting your breath come back to its natural rhythm and releasing all of the muscles, releasing any tension that you might be holding. And as always, I encourage you to stay in Shavasana for 3 to 5 minutes, if not longer. And this is where I'll leave you. I hope you enjoyed that 25-minute advanced flow. And I'll see you next time for more yoga.